Alrighty, go live we shall. Hello, beautiful souls. That's right. It's me, Madaline. So welcome to this beautiful Lion's Gate. Let's see. Moderation helps everyone to build a positive live chat experience. Okay, there's some little notes from YouTube. So welcome to this beautiful waning moon. And also, I'm sure everyone that is into understanding astrology and portals and energies, this is August 8th. It is a portal, the Lionsgate portal. We're in Leo season. And I learned something very interesting last night. I went to a local drumming circle at the Well in Roswell. I will try to remember to put that link below. If you're local in the Atlanta area or in the northern Atlanta area, there's this beautiful place called the Well, and they have all kinds of different things to experience, sound baths, all different things on working on your soul. And they had a lovely drumming circle last night with Jen Huber. She is absolutely a healer, and it was just lovely. So we drummed together. There were about 10 of us there, and it was a frame drum, so it's a hand drum that we used. Anyway, so one of the very wise women that was in the group gave a little insight about the Lionsgate portal, because I have read up on it the past couple of years. I've been reading more up on these things. So the Lionsgate portal, we have a central sun. So it is a sun that actually feeds our sun and other suns that are out there. So this central sun comes through what is called the Sirius, which is a galaxy of stars. I'm pretty sure, now correct me if I'm wrong, please feel free to leave comments, but it all comes into alignment with our sun. So it opens up this energy, this amazing energy for us to create and manifest at a very high level. So the more that I tap into it and learn about it and read about it and utilize it, it's pretty incredible. And according to a lot of the people I follow, it's a pretty powerful one. So of course, you guys know I'm going to read something because we are in Leo season. And the Leo is all about, it's a fire sign. And this also about kind of being seen, just imagine a lion. They are the king of the jungle, right? And whenever they come in a room, they're there. So the Leo energy can have a lot to do with the ego as well. And there's a lot of people out there that I've heard, they're like, just get rid of the ego. We don't need the ego. It's so bad. And that's not true. So today, that's right, I'm reading from the Boundaries and Protection book again, because this is very apropos for this season, the ego, and how that Pixie Lighthorse defines it and helps us understand utilizing it in a more loving way versus letting it take charge and then start to do things that really are not pleasant. Everyone seems to associate the ego with bad things, and we know that's not true. It does help us survive. It keeps us out of danger, but we can learn how to maneuver together and balance our soul and our ego together. So again, I'm going to read from this because it's just very important. It really is. And I think you will all agree. So this one today is called Ego Strength. Being able to hear feedback is a sign of ego strength. Our ego is not a function to be resented, killed, or amputated. It is responsible for helping us show up in the world and get from point to point. And it's a critical aspect of the working psyche. Without ego strength, we are like a tall tree planted in shallow ground, unable to withstand the rigors of relationship when it's time for us to be held accountable. A strong, humble ego is like a deeply rooted willow, reaching deep for underground water, able to bend and flex in the wind. Cultivating ego strength is making an effort to become fortified with competence, willingness to listen, forego inflated features of self importance, and soften overreactive responses. And that's a big one. Soften overreactive responses. It means we have a healthy sense of humor and get offended less easily and do not use being offended as a weapon against our loved ones. Guilty right here. Going out into the world with our egos intact is much more useful than taking to the streets with no ego. It is a checkpoint that registers incoming information and reacts with a fitting response, not to mask, to avoid appearing vulnerable or concerned with what others will think. Ego strength helps manage ourselves inside a relationship by relieving us all the blame, by relieving us of all the blame or of all the righteousness. It recognizes that there is a middle ground, a moderate path. You can recognize it in conversation because it seldom shows up as defensiveness or uses absolute like always and never. It leans back, folds its arms over its chest, and says, I hear you, and I'll take that in and verify whether it is true. It is curious and willing to explore new concepts and possibilities where there may be unseen errors. The trademark of ego strength is it enables us to hear feedback without crumbling. It is one of the most crucial elements of enforcing boundaries without building walls. Did you hear that? It is one of the most crucial elements of enforcing boundaries without building walls. It requires that you love the truth more than you love being right, or you are willing to seek it out. So that again about, hey, when we are looking at creating boundaries, it's not about building walls. No, it is about us saying, okay, this is my boundary and that is something that, but it isn't putting a wall up. And that really hit me too. But the other thing earlier about when we get offended so easily and then we hold other people accountable or we get upset that they made fun of something that we take seriously. And the more that we have ego strength, the more that those jokes or those things can roll off. Now, I do have an issue with that sometimes because, I in my family unit, I am the baby of the family. And so I have an older brother and there's always poking and making fun. And I would get offended and I still do sometimes. But now I'm seeing, hey, just laugh it off. That's who they are. That's what they're doing. So just leave it. Don't let it get you upset. Don't get angry. Don't hold on to it. Don't be resentful. But this is to me it's excellent timing because this is about Leo. This is the Lion's Gate. This is really standing in our power and bringing in things that we want for ourselves in this life. So Now we are going to get onto the waning moon card pull, and I appreciate you sitting there and listening. But I am going to continue to read those. And, it brings in so much wisdom for me. And I think for all of us, because we are so conditioned to get offended and immediately, strike out on somebody if we're offended. And that is not a sign of a strong ego. And we don't have to be you know, over the top with our ego. There is that balance. It's a balance for everything, right? And that is the key in this life, is trying to have patience and find balance. And I will be working on that for the rest of this lifetime, people. Okay. So we're in this waning moon. And one of the key things, I posted it on my Facebook page about what is going on right now and what the energies are according to the astrologer that I follow. And it is really still continuing to go with the flow. Surprising things may still pop up. And it's the way the planets are right now, you can be totally surprised. And if something comes up, just let it go, let it flow. Just continue to, when something comes up that you weren't expecting, okay, and shifting and moving forward. And this is me, of course, telling myself this, because I still fall into my old habits. When something doesn't go the way I planned, or if I can't control a situation, then I get upset and I waste energy. And I'm getting very weary of that. So it's very exhausting. So this waning moon, it's a 4-card pull, and we're doing it from one of my first favorite decks, Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray. And it's such a beautiful one because it incorporates a lot of different things. So this is a 4-card pull, and I did some drumming before. I burned some Palo Santo, got a candle going, and I've called in our guides. I've called in all the 4 corners, and I've asked all of our guides to be with us right now. So if you would like, you can just take a deep breath with me, put your hand on your heart if you like, and take some deep breaths here. Grounding us, bringing us in, celebrating this magical day, this beautiful energetic day here. And the waning moon, starting to wane and go into the new moon phase. All right. Thank you. Thank you, guides, for revealing to us what we need to know at this time of the waning moon and this powerful portal called the Lion's Gate. We are willing to listen. Okay, so let's just get on here. Okay, excellent. And one of my friends told me, and it's pretty funny, she was like, she was giving me some feedback, right? And I took it. She's like, when you get done with your card pull, and especially if it's a full moon or the moon's out, remember to tell people to go outside and look at it and bathe in it and enjoy it. And I'm like, that's a good tip. So thank you, my sweet friend, Kathy. I'm going to do that. And before I forget, since it is a waning moon, you can still see it out there. So if you have clear skies tonight, go step outside, take a little gander. Okay, so lovely. Yes. First card is, what do I need to release? And the card is the winter card. So what do I need to release? Now this card says to take care of your needs. So again, do I need to release taking care of my needs? Absolutely not. We need to release taking care of everyone else's needs first. And to remember that the only way that we're really going to be able to care for anyone is to care for ourselves first. And that is a huge behavior and conditioning that I have seen, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate, where we have been told to put everybody else first, get everyone else taken care of before you take care of yourself. And that is an old way of thinking, my friends. It's time to always make sure that you are right with yourself before you get right and take care of everyone else. It's important to fill your cup first before you fill everyone else's. All right, the second card is what will help me at this time of this waning moon? And it's the sage. Be devoted and committed. So I feel this is speaking on a spiritual level, whatever spirituality looks to you, whatever it looks like to you. But continue to stay devoted and committed to what you're wanting in your life and to practicing and doing the things that are helping you achieve that. For me, that's getting up in the morning and doing my qigong, doing my yoga or my little weight training, and then sitting and meditating and sending out love, doing my own spirituality practice. That could be going out in the morning for a walk, taking your dog for a walk, going outside with your warm cup of coffee or tea in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Spending time with yourself. So stay devoted and committed to always setting aside some time for you every day. All right. The third one is what will help me accept and surrender at this time? The Shield Maiden. Love her. Like, I think I want to be here for Halloween this year. The Shield Maiden. And it says to make plans and focus. And that I feel remembering is the theme that we've been having going on at these moon phase card pulls, is to stay focused. And there's a lot of distractions going on out there, even more so. So continue to stay focused on what you want to cultivate in your life. All right. The fourth card is the final outcome. And this is kind of similar or speaking about what I was reading about this waning moon and the energies of it. It is the Shape Shifter, one of my most favorite cards in this deck. It's beautiful. I mean, look at all that with the wolf, the hawk, and then, of course, a human, right? Looks like an indigenous person. So it says transform and unveil your gifts. So that is the final outcome. So it is shifting to whatever's going on at the moment, being in the moment, right? So we need to release putting other needs first at this waning moon. We need to stay devoted and committed. We need to make some plans and stay focused with what we want. And then if things come in that we didn't expect, then we can shift. We can shift and say, oh, well, I think I know how I can handle that situation, right? So I have a little time here, which is good. I'm trying to keep these as much as I can, as under 30 minutes, but if I can, under 20. So the bottom of the deck, I'm starting to remember it more. Yay. So this is the overall feel of the card pull and the energies right now. And this is the Hunter. And it says to track down your fears and dreams. So that goes in with all of these things that we're doing right now. If we are staying devoted and committed and focused on what we really want, then we're going to have to face those fears when things come out of nowhere and we're like, what's that? That wasn't on my schedule. I wasn't in control of that. Now what? That's a fear for me. So I have to let that go and remember, well, okay, this is my dream. This is my goal. This is what I want to happen. So, all right, that's happening. And we're just going to shift and focus over here. So continuing to look at our real deep rooted fears, it's still there. Remember, as much as I would like to check it off my list and think it's never going to come around again, it will. It's just going to come around in a different way, and hopefully in a lesser, won't be as severe. So continue to let those fears go. Continue to work with what you want for your life. And I really appreciate you guys always leaving comments, liking it. Feel free to share. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And I will be back next week because it's going to be a new moon. It's a wonderful time to set intentions again for the month. So I hope everyone has a wonderful Tuesday, has some things planned to, as I mentioned before, go out and look at that beautiful waning moon. And again, if there's any doubt, just know that you are supported. You always are supported by your guides, the universe, by the Creator. Just know that you are supported, and I'm here sharing the message for you and for me. I love you guys so much. Thank you again. And remember, I am always sending you peace, love, and soul. Enjoy your evening. Take care.